What's up, everybody? This is Oliver. I'm actually a Swift truck driver. I've worked for Swift now for about 6 months ish, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of feedback of what I think of Swift, and also as far as why I joined Swift as a team. A little bit of background on me. I've actually worked for another company doing deliveries, and I got treated pretty bad as a driver, and I didn't like the feeling that I got with them. I worked for them for a very long time. There was ups and downs, a lot of downs, not very many ups. It was a great company to work for at the beginning, and it got progressively better, and then it got progressively worse towards the end. And I think I was at a point where it was time for me to switch. And so as I started looking for companies, I looked for what companies had, a great safety record, and B, a reliable company, and C, a company that would keep me busy. And those are kind of the three things that I was looking for when I was looking for a company. And as I was going through all the different companies, Swift came on the list. And as I started doing the research in the company, I realized that Swift and Knight kind of merged together, so to speak. And I was really excited to see what that company would offer. So I started doing a little research on Swift and realized that, and I don't like bringing that negative on there, but Swift had a lot of negative videos on YouTube and TikTok and all these other platforms. A lot of negative, and everybody talks about, oh, there goes Swifty, there goes Swifty doing their little thing again. Always thinking as a unsafe company, and a very unsafe and very unprofessional company, because they make very poor decisions. And so I got a little worried at first, and I'm like, let me keep digging. And as I started looking at their safety, and I seen how big the company was, and I'm like, you know what? The reason why there's such a so many videos of Swift and how they're not great is because they're such a large company percentage-wise. That would make sense to have some of those in there. And Swift wasn't the only company that had videos of negativity. And I'm like, you know what? Let's keep digging. And as I kept digging for Swift, I felt really comfortable looking at the incentives that they offered, as well as the equipment that they were using, and potentially having a pretty much over the road, having a lot of time doing some of that mileage. And I was looking for the miles and making sure that it made sense for me. So I applied for Swift. I actually got basically hired through their process. But before that, I got offered to go to their Top Gun Academy before I went to with my mentor. And I was thrilled. I was like, great. Knowledge, baby. Give me a sponge. I'm there. Let's bring it. And so I decided to go and do that program through Top Gun. And I'm like, great, let's go. And I am so thankful that I did Top Gun. Man, I cannot tell you how much it's helped me be a better and more professional driver out there on the road. It taught me some skills that I'm very thankful that I have today. It's helped me help other drivers, even in the very short time that I've worked for Swift. I'm blown away by the abilities and the knowledge that I was given through the Top Gun program. So I'm very thankful for that. When I got that knowledge and I went with my mentor, I got even more knowledge with my mentor, and that helped out a lot. Then Upgrade came. I went to Upgrade, got upgraded. Was great. I got into a truck that same day, and I was ready to roll. I was excited. Let's get on the road, baby. And 6 months later, I'm still with Swift, loving every minute of it. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about that portion of it. So because I saw that they had great equipment, and it was a large company, I felt like they could give me the loads. That was the main reasons why I went with Swift. And then when I got into Swift, all the people I talked to, from Robin in HR to Don, my driver leader, to the team as a whole, everybody I talked to, it was all positive. I had very little negative issues. And then as I got into the Facebook group page with Swift, I started seeing a lot of negative people, a lot of people complaining and moaning and griping about other drivers. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I getting myself into? And I was really concerned that I got myself in a bad situation. But then I stepped back and I'm like, you know what? No, let's do this the right way. Let's approach it in a way that has the silver lining, and let's look for the positives in the situation. The only way that this could be bad is if I make it bad. As an individual, I'm the one that can make it bad. So I decided not to, and look at the better and look at the positives of the job. Got in the truck, started rolling. Things were doing great. I love it. My first week was a little rough because, again, new things, new areas, new deliveries, things that I was not very familiar with. So I went through this process, and it wasn't great. My first week sucked. Let's just put it that way. Okay, I'll be very honest with you. I ended up getting a blowout my first week. The first load that I was there for almost 6.5 hours. I mean, I could have complained more and more about things, but I chose not to, and I really try to focus more on the positives. And I'm very thankful. I'm out on this beautiful country of the United States, seeing different areas. I'm loving it, right? And as I progressed into it, I realized that it was exactly what Swift told me it was going to be. I got the loads, I ran, I did the job, I got paid. Everything was exactly what I was promised in the first place. So for those of you guys that complain and moan and gripe, I'm just telling you, if you look at the positive things in with Swift, those positive things will trickle down to you. But if you start constantly looking for the negatives and always being negative, you're going to get those negatives, and they're going to trickle down to you as well. Is it all roses? No, now, Swift, I don't know any job. You tell me a job that it's 100% perfect and they never have any issues, no complaints, you're going to get them. But you and me are the ones that can make the difference as far as if it's a positive influence in where we work. So this is just my 2 cents. I wanted to say thank you for all those that I've run into on the yards and out there on the road. I really appreciate it a lot. It means a lot that you guys spend some time and just saying hi. I know a lot of terminals. There's some terminals that I won't name any names, but in the terminals that just are not very friendly. And I think a lot of it is just maybe they've been beaten up a little bit. So I'm going to extend a challenge to all Swift drivers, including myself. I'm challenge you guys to make an effort to do something positive for the person that's next to you, whether it be in your truck or out on the terminals. But do something nice for somebody else. I'm not talking about monetary, but maybe help them with something that they're struggling with, or maybe answer a question and be positive about the results. And if they don't get it right the first time, maybe help them with that situation, and don't be negative, and don't create animosity in the driver community out there, because it creates a very raw negative, and it brings you down as a driver. And I will never be that way. I will force myself to be positive, and I will bring the positive to you. So I'm very thankful. I wanted to say thank you for the welcome that you guys have given me on the Facebook group page, as well as the love that I've kind of been seen out there as far as drivers helping other drivers. I know it doesn't always happen, but thank you so much. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Stay safe, protect yourself, and as I always like to say to people that I run into, not only protect yourself, but always be a professional driver. Have the attitude of one that is, and you will be. So thank you so much. Peace. Catch you later.